Kia ora, New Zealand. Welcome to Sweet Chain Live. My name's Matt Drake. This is episode 197, and I'm joined this evening by my co-host, Arne Burgess. Good evening, Arne. I nearly said Morgan. Yeah. First up, thank you so much for stepping in for Morgan while he's on his holidays. Morgan's gone to Thailand, or is on his way to Thailand. So he's going over to play some tournaments in Thailand, which is going to be incredible. But you're joining us this evening, and thank you so much for stepping in. Now you're in Topor right now, right? Yeah, sounds good to me. I think. Yeah.
Some of the skins, played a few rounds. I've played a few holes. Comes first champs, love it. Absolutely loving being here.
I have to say, we've got two guests on tonight. We've got Steve Lawson's on in a second. He's going to be up first, obviously tournament director of the Topor Classic. And so, what's your view on like the setup and all that kind of stuff? Like when you arrived, what do you think? You played this course before?
My first time playing it, playing the tournament. And look, from the moment you rock in, the flags are out on the road directing you. This is the driveway to put in. Then you go through. There's overflow car parking. There's heaps of car parking around. You park your car, you walk over this hill. They've got the pyramid of power set up, the warm-up area, tents galore, big, what do you call them? Jumbotron type thing right next to the tee.
Oh, yeah.
It's absolutely immaculate. It's incredible.
Fantastic. I'm looking forward to hearing from Steve in a bit, actually, about all the preparation. I have to say, I've spent the day on Instagram just looking at everybody's stories and posts and stuff. It's been absolutely crazy, the amount of stuff that's been going on. I'm so jealous that you're there. It's going to be incredible. But look, we got a great show for you lined up today. We're going to go through hot scores first up. Then we're going to bring in our first guest, Steve Lawson, the tournament director of the Topor Classic. And then we're going to bring on Levi Stout, who competed in the OTB, not the OTB, the GK Pro GoPro skins match earlier on. I'll get the name right eventually. The GoPro skins match.
I think it is still OTB.
Oh, is it?
Okay. But yeah, go through formerly GK Pro,
yeah.
Obviously the ones that produce it. But I don't know, maybe I'm speaking out of turn, but I'm pretty sure it's OTB that still pay the money. So we'll give them a shout out. Got a nod from Levi on the back there. So awesome.
So we're going to get Levi on, and then we're going to go through a bit of a review of Egg Monster, which happened last week in Inglewood. Another tightly fought contest. The MPO and FPO coverage is out on YouTube, so be sure to head over to the GoPro disc golf page and check out that. The coverage is great. I have to say, it's a very, very good production, and it gets a bit spicy towards the end. So we'll go through the results of that. We'll also then be looking ahead towards Topor and having a look at some tipping, giving you the best odds and our picks on who we think is gonna win. We'll get a sneak insight from Steve as well, and maybe Levi will give us his picks as well for the weekend. And yeah, we'll Disc Golf Valley is on. So if you want to play some Disc Golf Valley, the room code is up above Arne's head over there. And so yeah, head in. I thought I was going to shoot under par this week, but nay. But go and log in there. We'll play a bit of Disc Duel, and I think that'll probably round us out for our Thursday night pre-tournament entertainment. So how does that sound, Arne?
Sounds incredible. I do need to make one thing, because my wife never lasts longer than 5 minutes in there. But a big shout out to my wife, who's watching both kids by herself down in Waikanae while I journey up to Topor and play disc golf. So shout out to her, because she's not going to last much longer. But going through hot scores in the South, Matt, am I?
Yes, take us through the South.
Brilliant. Awesome, rightio. We go right to the bottom, and we've got a 4-way tie down at Queen's Park in Invercargill, and that's 16 down for Tiaki, Connor Arntz, Richie, and Ray Duncan. 16 down. Then we go down to across to Chingford. It's Lance Eason with a 7 down. Brockville, we see Calvin Cummings and Tom Mackay share a 4 down. Over to my neck of the woods, Queenstown Gardens, Stiffmeister Stefano, 13 down at the Gardens. Over the Crown Range to Wanaka at Lismore Park, we have 9 down for Mundo McDisc. Jelly Park sees Sam Cole at 14 down, getting ready for the Disc Daddy's longest day. Warren Park, Sam Cole again, 12 down. We go over to Smallbone Reserve down in Ashburton, 13 down for Luke Darrell, Nick Stratford, and Ben Schicker. Queen's Park Reserve sees a 6 down for Joliosis. Up to Nelson, Paddy Ludlow, 9 down, and Branford Park is Alex Batten with a 14 down. What's it like in the north?
Up in the North Island, we've got around Berrenpore in the capital, Matt Badger goes round in a 6 under par. Across the water at Hikoikoi, Chris Houston hits 5 under, and up at Harcourt Park, Carson Boone lights it up with a 5 under par. Over to Linklater, Nate Shaw hits 8 under par, and over at Maryland's, obviously very close to Inglewood, where a lot of people have been playing recently, Patrick Brown hits the hot score for this week with a 7 under par. Around Spa Park Gold, Patrick Brown again hits an 11 under par. We'll find out whether that's a competitive score or not a little bit later on. Henderson sees David go around at 8 under. Zach Armour hits 3 under at Wood Hill, and I think it's New Zealand's Luke Humphreys hits an 11 down at Rosedale. So congratulations to everybody who hits a hot score this week. Right, we're going to introduce our guest for this evening. But before I do, chat, if you've got any questions for either Steve or Levi, then be sure to chuck them into the chat page, and we'll do our best to get to them. But I'd like to introduce my guest, or our guest at this time. Good evening, Steve.
Good evening. Good to be here, Matt. Hey, Morgan. Not Morgan. Yeah. Excuse me. I've been watching the show too long.
It's an easy mistake to make. Steve, first up, thanks so much for taking time to come on the show. It's the day before the tournament kicks off. You've probably got 100,000 things going through your mind. I know you're a very prepared and methodical person, so you'll have pretty much everything sorted. But is there any last minute stuff that you kind of sat there going, "Oh, I've still got to do that. I've got to get to this"?
For sure, yeah, there always is. You can make lists and lists. Yeah, I've got to organise some publish the Pro Purse information straight after this, so that's something that's on my list to do. Yeah, and a few people have withdrawn late, so just editing the cards and that sort of thing. So there's always a lot to do, and I'm sort of not the most. I definitely need my lists. I forget a lot of things, and it's not natural for me to deal with so many people coming at me all at once. So I struggle with that. In this event week, I said to my fiance Alice, I just said I wish I could slow everything down and just pause for 2 days so I can just have a break and recharge. And yeah, it's just a lot.
Yeah. I mean, so look, I mentioned earlier that I was looking on Instagram at all the pictures and the reels that people were sharing. I've played at the Topor tournament in one guise or another twice, I think, in the past. But it looks, from what I've seen, like this is like another level. Like you've really stepped it up. Like it's gone to a different heights. Is that something that, I mean, first of all, talk us through that comment, hopefully you agree with it, and talk us through some of the things that you were thinking in preparation for this tournament that would make it a little bit different, that would add that kind of wow factor, if you like. I hate that phrase, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, there's a couple of things as far as changes to the course you may be familiar with, like talking about the layouts specifically. We knew that we were going to probably get some gun players over from the States and overseas, so we wanted to set a tough course. So we're trying to work out how we can make it a challenge for them, so they're not shooting 17, 18 down, and get the best out of them. So they were enjoying it, and that's a real test. So we changed it around. We move our HQ to the sort of centre of the park and try to start them on a nice tough hole where they've got to make a decision and hit a shot first straight away. So so that was one thing. We've just lengthened things out, lengthened the par fours, and tightened up the OB. I think this is the first event maybe in New Zealand that's had a minimum rating entry, so it wasn't opened up to everyone. So that was something a little bit different, and you're always worried about numbers and things like that, but just the way that the course is set up, it is quite challenging. Like we won't see the same difficulty that we saw at Egg Monster. I think we're trying to work out, a few of us have been chatting about our scores and what we think might win. I think 10, 11 down per round is probably going to be right in the thick of it. So it's going to be scoreable, but not unplayable. There'll still be some challenge there for people. And then on the other side, you're talking about just sort of lifting the bar of trying to make things professional. We're just trying to. We love disc golf, like our club. Our guys are just out there. We love the game, and we want to wave the flag for New Zealand, right? Go throw over here, and they're watching, and it's getting beamed around the state. So we want people to go, wow, that's going on in New Zealand. So we're trying to do our little part in that. And we had a scaffolding company, for example, that came on board, a local guy, Don, Great Lakes Scaffolding, and he's just an amazing guy to work with. Nothing's too hard. And he said, we can put this in. And we had a couple of holes that weren't so good last year, and we were able to put in new tees and create some new lines that turn them from a bad hole into something that's really a feature. So that's
is it hole 2 that you've got a new scaffolding tee pad? Is that right? Have I got that right?
Yeah, the second hole, it just makes it longer, and it's an elevated line, and it's just it's a great shape, and people are pretty excited to play from there. And then there was another hole that was a bit of a nothing hole. So we've turned this into a double Mando tree shot from an elevated sort of 2-meter platform, and some really good feedback about playing that hole. They're really enjoying it.
I can remember you talking me through that hole when I saw you in October. Was it October? And you were very excited about that. Do you know what the weather's going to do? Because the wind at Egg Monster was a real factor. What's your forecast? Have you?
I've been watching it. Obviously, you watch it 10 days out, and you just hope it changes, because it was looking pretty terrible. There was like rain starting tomorrow, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. But every day I've been looking the last few days, it's got better and better. So I think it's going to be good. I'm really happy with what we're being dished up. It looks like there will be some wind for final round on Sunday. So I think it's not going to be like Egg Monster. Hopefully it's the poor players deserve a little break and ease their nerves after what they went through over there.
So tomorrow's going to be absolutely perfect. It doesn't get above 10k. It doesn't get to double digits as far as the wind goes.
Okay.
Just a nice, calm 23 degrees Celsius. It's going to be perfect.
Yeah, you'll be burning it up, mate. Course record.
I've got no tailwind though, Steve. We've just got to make sure the wind that is there has a bit of tailwind for me.
Okay.
Mate. Absolute shout out. I haven't been playing disc golf for a while, but I do back my mates as far as running a tournament goes, and this is next level. Just from as soon as you step out of the car, or even pulling into the driveway, even the communication that came beforehand. You've got an awesome app with the any new announcements coming through. I'm able to post my lost discs that I lost today. All of that sort of stuff's just all taken care of. So, look, I can't fault you. I'm looking forward to a bit of a kid in a candy shop, to be honest. So,
nice.
But the one thing I will say, is really clear how much you appreciate your club members and your volunteers. Just the camaraderie around your team is just next level. no one has a minority sort of role. You know, the way that you talk to everyone, they're all on the same level. They're all happy to help. They want to talk to you, and they just go out of their way to make sure that you know where to go.
Yeah.
That you got water, so on and so forth. So,
Yeah.
man, it's been pretty spectacular so far.
Yeah, we have a fantastic club. They're disc golfers, right? They're good people. They want to pitch in, they want to work together, and man, have they worked hard this year. So yeah, we are really lucky to have a fantastic group of people in our club that have just stepped up and love working together and love the game, really.
So you mentioned earlier on, Steve, that you reckon 10 or 11 down on the golds is going to be good enough for the win. Who's going to shoot 10 or 11 down 3 times in a row or close to it?
I would have to say, and I'm not saying this because he's on the show soon, but in the skins today, Levi was particularly frustrating Kevin Jones. Kevin was parking it, and then Levi was just drilling putts all over the show, and Kevin was getting most frustrated. So yeah, Levi was on fire. So with his experience on the course in previous years, he would have to be in the thick of it. I'm really hopeful that Levi gets in there and shows us some lead card coverage in round 2 and 3, and takes it home this year. He got really close last year. Obviously, a stronger field this year, and a couple of other guys that probably Gossage. Aaron he was pretty amazing out there. He filmed a practice round. I think he was sort of 11, 12 down in the thick of it. And probably Braden Sides would be a little cheeky podium bid maybe. He's got a good head on his shoulders and very smooth player. So, but to be honest, this is an insanely strong field. There is players that I haven't had the pleasure to watch play yet, but yeah, on the FPO side, I'd probably think maybe Sophia was looking good last week. I had a round with her yesterday, and she's, apart from being an amazing lady, she is a fantastic player. She has got an arm. Her and Taylor were just making me feel really inadequate there when I was trying to play with them. But yeah, super fun. Juliana obviously would be right in the thick of it. She's got experience at the course, and yeah, they are playing the blue course this year, so there's a lot more birdies for them. So yeah, who knows? It's a strong field. Yeah. 12,000 rated players is just off the charts for New Zealand. If someone had said that 18 months ago, like Tour Down Under the concept has seriously worked, and yeah, it's just they're embracing it, and I think I can see it growing. I can see these people that are having a great time going back, telling their friends, and coming down to New Zealand to play. So I just can see it growing.
I'll get the data analytics team to check that fact on number of 1,000 rated players in one tournament, but I suspect you're absolutely right.
I think it used to be 3. I think it was 3 before last year's TDU.
Yeah, that's probably the case. So you mentioned a few names there. We'll go through the tips. Go through the odds. Sorry, that Sweet Chain Live provide a bit later on. But the shortest odds I can tell you is at like 8-1, right? So that shows, I think, how wide open the field is. And actually, like, if anybody, I'm looking at the list, and pretty much anyone in that kind of top 10 could really put some stuff together and come out okay. I mean, Taupo's interesting in that. And if you haven't played the course before, then there's a few holes in the woods that can really make you unstuck, where it's very possible to start taking, doubles and triples. The rest of the course, I suspect the traveling guys will rip up. But those holes, I think, have still got the opportunity or capability to knock you down.
Yeah. I mean, I was really surprised how tight the OB is. It is some of these holes he's throwing in. The fairways are like 25, 30 meters wide. And some of these pros did struggle with it. Watching the skins. It's skins, so it's not proper tournament golf and they're trying to one up each other and get into a good space. But it's not a given. Each hole is not a given. You got to work to get what you deserve. So love the course, love it.
Yeah, Steve, it sounds like you're in for an absolute treat of a weekend. I can't wait for the coverage to come out, and I'll be following all of the scores and the reels tomorrow when they come through. But look, we're going to let you get on to doing the pro purse calculations and also checking your entry list to make sure it's full and up to date. If there's any last minute tips that people want to put on, the tipping will be open till about 7:00 tomorrow morning. So yeah, look out for when those changes are made. Awesome. Steve, thank you so much for joining us.
No, thanks guys. Thanks for having me on, and good luck tomorrow.
Well, very best of luck to you. I'm sure it will go swimmingly, but yeah, I'm sure you'll be relieved when Sunday comes, but also very, very pleased.
Awesome. Thanks, guys. See ya.
Excellent. Cheers, Steve. See you later. So, Arne, you played the blue layout today, right?
Yeah, I only got about 10 holes in, and then to be honest, it was just too bloody hot.
Oh, really?
So I went and grabbed some food, and then did the Champs vs Chumps, which yeah, I got to watch quite a lot. So I actually found this is the first time that I've actually just gone and walked a course. And in my head, oh yeah, I just throw this and then I throw that and throw this.
Yeah.
My problem is what comes out of these hands. I'm an artist in my head, Matt. I'm an artist. I can paint an absolute tapestry.
Does it translate?
No.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
Not at all. So it's yeah, but I really like the blue layout. There's a couple of par fives in there that putting some expectation on myself to birdie, and if I throw it well, might have a wee sneaky look at an eagle, but watch me double bogey it. So.
Wow. Okay. Well, we will be watching carefully. What? How did you get on in the Champs versus Chumps? What happened?
Yeah, great concept as well. There was 20 of us chumps that got paired up with 4 different pros, and they just pulled a name out of the hat at the start of each hole. So I was one of the last ones to be picked, so I didn't get picked until hole 5, I think, but paired up with Ezra, and we took his drive, and then we took his putt. And then I got pulled out the very next hole, and through the absolute drive of my life, paired up with Goose. And he proceeded to put it, 50, 60 metres further down the fairway and about 5 metres from the basket. So we took his drive,
okay, right.
Then we took his putt. Yeah. So, yeah. It was good. It was great. Great concept. Loved it. Really relaxed.
Yeah.
And the pros were just, consummate professionals. Each one of them taking time to talk to the people that were playing with them and all of that sort of stuff. But yeah, I must shout out. I think his name's Jacob. I think it's Jacob Klinglesmith. This fellow had to throw the first tee shot for Champs vs Chumps. No one knew who he was. He looked like he'd just walked off the building site from down the road. Left-hander, and absolutely pumped his drive down through the trees. And I'm probably going to get this wrong, but I'm going to pretend in my fantasy that he outdrove all the pros. And we're all sitting there going, "Who the heck is this guy?" So it's awesome to see that as well. And yeah,
good stuff. Well, look, we're going to bring on our own local pro now onto the show. So I'd like to welcome at this time our guest, Levi Stout. Good evening, Levi.
Hey, Matt.
How are you?
I'm not too bad yourself. It's been a while, eh?
It has been a while. We had you on for quite a bit, and then it's been some time since we've had you back on. But look, it's great to have you back on the show. How have you been enjoying your summer so far?
The working part of my summer wasn't so great, but the disc golfing part is going amazing and only getting better every day.
Yeah, yeah. So you're at Topor today. You played the skins match earlier on today. Now I know that was filmed, and I don't know if you're allowed to tell people what happened, because there might be spoiler alerts and people might want to know and stuff. So I shall leave it up to you as to whether you tell people or not. Or you can mute you can mute the stream.
If people want to know, they could message someone that watched. So
Okay.
I don't think it's a spoiler zone.
Okay, you did quite well though.
It was a pretty even distribution of skins, but I won the most CTPs. But I won't spoil exact numbers, but
okay.
Yeah, it was a good day.
And it's on a course that you've played in terms of with the exception of maybe one or two other high-ranking Kiwis, you've played this course more than probably everybody else in that you're probably going to be competing with this weekend, right?
Yeah.
So how has the course changed for you? Is there any big changes?
Yeah, so a couple of the changes that they made this year have just made it harder to throw safe shots.
Okay.
So a lot of the holes are very well designed in terms of you either have to commit to laying up or commit to going for it. And there's like a definite risk reward with that. Like even the second hole, you can lay up, but then you're going to have 100 meters into the green and it's not so easy. Or you could go for it, try get it 140 off the tee and have, a shorter upshot. Yep. They've done quite well to change a lot of those holes to not punish layups, but just make you work a bit harder for your birdies. But the biggest thing for me this year is the grass. Like it's been so dry up here that the grass is just way more skippy than it would usually be. So right. I found a couple holes, like when you watch the coverage, it's hole 3. In the past, I've just been able to throw a lazy hyzer and it will just sit at the bottom of the hill and I'll have an easy upshot. Whereas this year I'm finding I have to really drive it into the hillside.
So hole 3 is where you're up on the elevation, shooting down, and then the basket's up again at another hill the other side, right?
Yeah. But it's now, because of the grass, it's so much easier to leak OB left. So
I see.
There's a couple things like that just make it a little tougher.
Okay.
But even though it's tougher, it doesn't feel tougher this year. I've probably just gotten like better since last year. But I remember the course being harder.
Okay. And so what's your kind of, have you got a number in mind that you're kind of looking at ahead of time and going, if I leave the course on hole after 18 with that score, I'm pretty happy?
Anything better than 6 is like, happy with that. It's probably going to be above, either around my rating or above it. Mm-hmm. But I'd like to shoot double digits. Like that's the kind of number I'm aiming for.
Yeah. So we reckon a winning score in that kind of 20 to 25, would you say?
I said 32 when I was asked about it today.
Okay.
And I'm going to stand by it.
Okay. All right. Well, we'll have to see how the wind plays a part. That certainly played a part last weekend.
Yeah. Well, yes, but I think this course is more sheltered than what it was in Taranaki. So there's that, but also, the Americans aren't jet lagged anymore. They're starting to actually warm up into the disc golf. Some of them are learning their bag a little bit more. Yeah. And like we have a 1040 rated player in the field and a 1030 rated player. Like you're going to have to shoot at least 1040 to win.
Yeah.
That's my theory anyway.
Yeah, I mean, and as you should have to, right? You should have to do that.
Yeah.
Okay. So looking back at last week, how did you feel Egg Monster went for you? What's your kind of reflected thoughts?
I wasn't happy with how I putted. Pretty happy with how I was throwing, but my putting in the wind was pretty atrocious. You could see the difference between round 1 and 3 versus round 2. And the only difference is round 2 I putted well.
Yeah.
And round 1 I shot even. Round 3 I shot 6 up. But round 2, when I putted good, I shot 6 down with 11 birdies and a triple bogey.
Is that something which you can do something about ahead of time? Like, do you in your preparations, in your practice, do you look out for particularly bad days and go in, right, I've got to make sure I get out in that weather because it could happen, right?
Not too much in advance. I'll check the forecast like the day before to mentally prepare myself. Like, I knew on day 2 that it was going to be more calm, but a little bit wet. So I was just looking forward to it. And I knew that I did have to score there until hole 3 happened in round 2. And I took a 8. So that wasn't a good start to the round. But I fought my way back under par. So, yeah, that was good.
Awesome. Just a shout out to the chat. You're looking pretty quiet out there, chat. Not much engagement there, so think of some questions for Levi. It doesn't necessarily have to be about TDU. That's obviously why we're here. Or Topol Classic. We've got nationals coming up. But the rest of the disc golf here. Think of some questions. Throw them in. Levi, I want to get into your putting because I watched some of the skins today and you were pretty annoying to Kevin Jones. What was your where's this putt? Like, I don't know what I'm asking, to be honest, but like, how much putting practice do you do at home in Invercargill or in Dunedin?
Not enough. I think that's the answer for everyone. You can always go putt more. Leading into tournaments, I try putt at least like half an hour a day, because usually between tournaments I get very rusty. But the biggest difference between Taranaki and here, what you saw today, was I could actually putt and know that my disc is going to go where I threw it, and not randomly air bounce, and just hit the ground before the basket or lift way over the basket. Yeah, and I've been doing a little bit more putting practice, so that always helps.
Awesome. I'm gonna shift to your we obviously, most of us follow you on Instagram, but you've gained a couple of new mates over the last week or so, and lots of reels going up. Have you got any mates staying with you that you might want to shout out?
Yeah, I got one sitting right across the room from me right now. Braden's lying on his bed looking like he wants to go to sleep, and Ezra just walked out of the room. But Ezra was like,
say how much of a pleasure it was to play champs versus chumps with me.
He did.
Yes, thank you. Cool.
He walked over and he's like, "Oh, what's the show you're on?" And then he's like, "Hang on, I know that guy. He was on Champs versus Chumps. I played hole 1 with him." Well,
hey,
yeah.
But let's not call him a chump, okay? He's a very highly rated player. So. Oh, awesome! So you're enjoying sort of getting to live the New Zealand version of the Pro Tour life and travel around with some other highly rated disc golfers and be a bit of a tourist as well.
Yeah, absolutely. It's just been interesting seeing what the tour life is kind of about, and it's good to kind of put names to faces, or it's not even names to faces, it's personalities to names.
Mm-hmm.
Like the view you get on coverage is just completely different to what these people are like in person. Yeah, it's been a lot of fun.
So you've got your goal is to win Topol. That's probably a fair assessment.
Yeah.
What goals did you have at the start of this series? What were you kind of looking at going? this is what I'd like to achieve?
The main one is just get another win, because it'll be good competition this year. And the other one, I don't really have any specific goals, but I kind of know what I sort of want to do. If I'm shooting above my rating, then I'm happy. And if I'm not, then something in my game needs to be assessed and improve on.
And do you think Topol represents the best chance for you to get that win?
Maybe. Taupo, the answer is I don't know, because I've never played the Orchard.
Okay.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But Taupo, how far, like, it's pretty much set up for how far my forehand and backhand go. There's not a single hole I can't reach with my backhand or forehand. And, throwing further, there's slight advantages here or there, but it's nothing significant. There's still 18 birdies for me out there if I play them well. So, yeah, I just need to execute on those birdies as much as I can and avoid the bogeys, as I found out in a practice round. Because the thing about this course is, on paper, it's really easy. Because for us, it's a lot of 120-meter hyzers, which are stock shots for us. But there's so much OB that if you're just a little bit off on your driving, then it's easy just to, all of a sudden, you got 4 bogeys in a row.
Yeah, I mean, that's something that I recall from last year, seeing the OB lines being real tight, on a course that, I mean, I've only played it when there wasn't any OBs in for the largest part, apart from natural OB. And so when you see the lines that are drawn up on coverage, it's incredibly tight, and that just puts the pressure on even more.
Yeah.
So
the one in particular that you'll see on coverage, even though it looks tight on coverage, it's way tighter in person. I think it's hole 9.
Okay.
It's a par 4 that goes round to the right, and most of us will be throwing putter turnover or forehand driver off the tee.
Yeah.
If you're throwing a backhand, if you don't throw it perfect, it leaks out of bounds every time.
Yeah, I know the hole you mean.
It's ridiculously
slightly uphill dog leg right.
Yeah, and then dog leg right again.
Yeah, that's a tough hole to get right, honestly. Even when there's not any OB, it's a tough hole to get right.
Questions from the chat, Matt?
Yes, we do have a couple of questions. I'm going to come to them in a second, though, because actually, no, I'm going to come to one of them now. So Stephen Reed asks, any plans on doing a pro tour in the States over the next few years?
Next few years, maybe. It's not likely I do too much international traveling this year. Just want to focus on my studies, a little bit over winter. I'll still be playing lots of local events, but I don't think I'll make too many international trips. But in the future, if there's a swing that I can go and play, and it works with, my school, then don't see any reason why not.
Yeah, you first year of uni, is that right?
No, second year.
Second year, okay.
Yeah.
And you're studying?
Physiotherapy.
Nice.
Yeah.
I may come see you after tomorrow's round then. Yeah, cheers. Another question from Mr. Hayden Body. Do you think Mum has a chance of placing in any of the TDU tournaments?
I think she does. Mum's very good occasionally at playing very smart golf. If you watch round 1 of Taranaki, she played incredibly smart golf, and it made up for the fact that Taylor throws twice as far as her, and Mum shot a 900 rated round, which is, for her, it's
and really only a few shots off what the ladies were.
Yeah.
Rest of the
she was up there. Right? But I don't think she's a strong wind player. Obviously, throwing far disproportionately gives you an advantage in the wind.
Mhm.
So I think somewhere like Christchurch,
I was going to say
actually
Bottle Lake,
maybe
might
not
be,
Christchurch, Bottle Lake, yeah,
but
then you
maybe
get to
not
Brooker, and Brooker's big and windy.
Yeah.
But I think somewhere like an Orchard, if it was calm and she could just play her smart golf, chuck the mamba inbounds, lay up, take your pars where you can.
Yeah.
She could definitely compete with these women because her putting is, up there in the
Oh, it's
women's
incredible.
divisions.
We saw it on the coverage. I've not I watched the first round, and it's there was several putts where I wasn't expecting it to go in, and it just went dead center. So that was great.
Yeah, it's definitely a strong suit.
It was a big putt from her that got you guys into the round that you got into for teams, was it not? Was it her?
Yeah. So when we were playing Japan at Team Worlds, how it worked was there was 2 doubles matches and 2 singles matches happening simultaneously over 2 separate cards. That round, me and Ethan were playing Manabu and Ko Simul in doubles, and we did not win because Manabu played absolutely out of his skin and we did not. And then I think the situation ended up being that we lost the doubles matches, but we hang on. No, we won our 2 singles matches, and me and Ethan lost our doubles match. So that meant that Mum had to tie. Mum and Laura had to tie the Japanese women, or else we would lose because the doubles, take priority, and because we would then lose both our doubles matches, we'd lose. So Mum had a 8-meter putt, and she didn't know what it was for. She knew that it was to draw the match, and I would not have liked to have that putt, and neither would Ethan or anyone else on the team. And she just stepped up, didn't even hesitate. No long routine, just straight up, easy bang through to the top 8. Yeah.
Are you a score watcher?
No, I hate watching scores.
Oh, really? Okay.
In Taranaki, I think I checked. I'll check maybe down the 16th hole sometimes.
Yeah.
Or late in the back 9 where decisions need to be made.
But I guess
round. But other than that,
I was going to say final round. Also, going in. Well, by about hole 16 how well you've shot compared to the people around you, right? Likely there's maybe one or a card either side that could probably get in your way if it's not right. But okay. That's
the main thing with score checking is on a course like Spa Park, I'm trying to birdie all 18 holes no matter what. The only time scores matter for me is if there's a decision I need to make about running a putt, with OB behind or something like that.
Yeah.
So I try to avoid them as much as possible.
Yeah. No, fair enough. And so when you finish the hole, birdie or otherwise, it goes into the vault and you're on to the next one.
Yeah, that's the goal. But through 7 or 8 holes, I always know where I'm at, even though I don't want to. It's kind of annoying.
Yeah, well, I think that's just human nature, right? It's very difficult to turn that off. Very difficult. Yeah.
And Mum's running the Smash this year?
Yeah, she is.
Assume you're playing? Yeah.
Yeah, I'm playing. If you're watching and you're on the fence, get your regos in.
Because they've slightly changed things, eh? I've noticed a slight change in the Smash logistics.
Yes, because we didn't have enough entrants. I think a lot of people have just been on the fence whether they'll play or not. But I think the best thing to do is enter, and then if you need to pull out later, you pull out later.
I would encourage anyone to go and play that tournament. I loved it. A couple of years ago when I went down. It's great tournament to play.
Yeah, to definitely get in. There's actually very limited spots left. It's only about 20 odd left. So we'll be doing that as we do the podcast.
Good.
And so you've got your you feeling confident going into tomorrow. Looking around at the other divisions, who are, from what you've seen and what you know, who would be your pick of for FPO this weekend?
Ooh, that's a tough one, because I know that Taylor has the distance, but I think she's going to get bitten by the OB lines quite a lot. Because, like I say, if you're off by a little bit, then you're just, done for.
Yeah.
I think Sophia might run into the same problem of being over aggressive at times. So it's not really it's a bit of a hot take, but I think Juliana's going to take it out.
Okay.
Because she is, the best at playing smart golf from what I've seen.
Yeah.
She will put it where she knows she can, put it in bounds, put it under the basket and move on.
Yeah, I mean, and she won it here last year, so she's got experience playing this course. So
yeah,
albeit a year ago, and she's probably played a billion courses since then, but still, yeah. So and looking elsewhere, there's even like the competitiveness in all of the divisions, even in like MP40, MP50's got a huge field, relatively huge field, and MA1 is also looking pretty tasty as well. What are you going to be doing tomorrow morning? Because you don't tee off until like 2:30 or something, isn't it?
Yeah.
So what are you going to be doing? Because you don't have to get up early. Arn's going to be up crack of dawn because he's playing at 10 o'clock or something, so he'll need to get a warm up in. What are you going to be doing?
Well, last week at Taranaki, I was following Mum around, and Francis was caddying for her. Mm-hmm. But because she's not my ride this week, I don't have to be up early. I don't think I'll even be at the course. I think, we'll find something to do in the morning. Could even go play mini golf or something, keep us entertained before we head to the course. Braden and Ezra didn't like that idea.
How long do you need?
They know I would beat them at mini golf. That's what it is. I beat Braden at foosball, and he's still a bit upset about it.
Well, that's the last thing you need.
Who has to pay for the cow skull that you broke?
I didn't break it. That would be Matt. Nice try.
So something that's going to chill out before you start playing. How long do you need in terms of, if you tee off at 2:30, what time do you want to be arriving at the course so that you can get into your preparations and your routines and your practice putting or the, whatever?
My general rule is about an hour. I really only need, 20 minutes of throwing and 20 minutes of putting, and then some time to make sure you're at the tee early.
Yeah. 5 minutes, Make sure you're there 5 minutes before.
Usually I'm there to watch the card before me tee off, just to, make sure.
Be sure. Yeah. Excellent. Look, it's going to be fantastic. It looks like it's setting up for a crackerjack of a weekend, and there could be one of any number of people who take out the title. But obviously, we wish you all the very best, Levi, and hope you take away the title this weekend. We'll be cheering you on, as I'm sure the rest of New Zealand will be.
300 sweet chain tipping credits.
Yes, there were. Well, quite a few people have been putting have been lumping on Levi, which we'll go through in a minute as to where we think the value is. But Levi, very best of luck tomorrow and for the rest of the weekend. Have a good few days, and bring home the title.
Thank you. I'll do my best.
Nice
Cheers,
one.
mate.
See you later. We'll see you soon.
Yeah.
Ciao. On.
That's what we're supposed to be doing.
Yeah, look, this it's going to be incredibly competitive over the weekend. We're going to get to the tips and the odds, etc. in a moment. We're going to have a quick flashback to Egg Monster, which happened last weekend. Now, if you haven't seen the coverage, then go and watch the coverage. If you have seen the coverage, then this won't be a spoiler to you. but as we can see in MPO, Robert Burridge took out the title with a playoff win over Ezra Robinson. Eli Swanson was in contention until really the very last hole. And Chandler Fry again was also in contention until the very last hole, albeit coming from the chase card. So incredibly tight field. And that's even without mentioning Aaron Gossage, Levi Stout, Luke Humphreys, who was leading until the final round as well.
Yeah. Yeah, no, coverage looked absolutely insane, and it was quite funny because Luke Humphreys, Nick Perkins commentating, they had to keep reminding people how windy it was, because I don't know what Henry has made those TDU flags on the top of the baskets out of, but they were not moving.
Yeah, right. The coverage really. I don't think it's just this coverage or anything particular with this tournament. I think it's in general it's very difficult to get wind speeds etc on coverage kind of accurately. But Ezra Robinson shoots the hot round for the tournament. Sorry, I'm wrong. Aaron Gossage shoots the hot round for the tournament, 10:47 rated round 2. Ezra Robinson's 10:46 rated round 3 was the hot round on the third day. Or looking down the MPO field, strong performances from Jack Maffey and Connor McKinstry. They both played higher than perhaps they would be expected to. So well done to them. Obviously, Connor McKinstry's home course, so he's got a lot of experience going round there.
Jack, if you actually look at Jack Maffey's first round, he was in the positives, but on one hole he takes a 9.
Yeah.
And so if that 9 turns into even a 6, a 6 or a 5, he's
in the
seriously
top 10.
100%, and that's incredible. I mean, Jack's an awesome player, but he'd be up and competing with Levi and Johnny and whatnot. So well done to Jack.
Yeah, very good performance. Looking further down in FPO, Sophia Donake takes out FPO. She wins by a single stroke. This went down to the final hole as well. I think Emily, I haven't seen the second and third round coverage yet. It came out, and I'm waiting to watch it with my wife, which we unlikely to do after the show, but we might do tomorrow. So this was incredibly close. Juliana Corver always there or thereabouts, and Taylor had a great first round, which put her in contention and kept her there for some time. But I think, as Levi alluded to, struggled a little bit with some of the OBs. Strong performances in FPO by Hannah Edmonds. Really, really strong performance from Hannah. She played at Rapper Rumble most recently, and I was on the same card as her for the second round, and she's got an absolute cannon of an arm. She outshot me that day and played very well at the weekend. Over into MP40, Jim Oates takes it out against a fairly strong field. Local Brian Levine and Anthony Rogers were providing the competition. Anthony was tied with Jim going into the final round. So that was very good. Brian coming back in the final round, shooting a 10:04 rated third round. In MA1, it's local junior Finn Rumors who wins. Who wins this? This looked like it could go any way, and we were saying beforehand, Joel Way, Ben Morris, and Josh Pratt, any of these guys could take it out. And it was incredibly close. Well done to Finn for holding on here. Matt Broughton switched divisions from MP40 to MA40 in the final few hours, which caught a few people out on the old tipping. It caught me out.
Then you tried to throw people off by saying that he had an injury and all that stuff.
That's what I heard. I was told by a reliable source, someone who knows him very well, that he was carrying an injury which made his forehand a struggle. But apparently, from the people who were there, no such struggle was had, and he walks away with a victorious by 5 shots over Chris Barker and Wellingtonian's Richard McDonald. In FA40, Amy Whitmore's performance was a strong one, 907 rated final round. She'll be happy with that. MA50, Matt Sagan wins comfortably by 17 shots. And in MA2, Cannon Lawson wins here. I have to say, I caught up with him at League on a Wednesday night just gone, and he was like, "You jinxed me for that for Egg Monster." And I said, "What am I? What are you on about? You won, didn't you?" And he was like, "Yeah, but that first round." Anyway, he shoots a 950 and a 931 to claw himself back into the lead and win by 3. And in FA2, Megan Gray, local to Inglewood as well, takes away the win by 7 shots. Cullen Urson holds off Blake Gibson and Andy Din in MA3. Well done to everybody who performed well at Egg Monster. We're going to have a look.
Well done.
Sorry, go on.
Can I just say well done to Jason and Brian and the Inglewood crew that ran the Egg Monster. It was relatively low numbers. Unfortunate timing, the same weekend with west side of Woodville, but people probably don't care about this, but their minimum payouts, they far exceeded beyond what they needed to. The chatting to the pros today, they absolutely loved their time there. The AM payouts were, on par, if not better. So, shout out to them. They've run a really good tournament on a low budget and pulled it off awesomely.
Yeah, and it's a lovely course, right? They've got a great track there. I played that tournament in 2019 and had great fun. Ripping around in MA1, it was real good fun, and been one that I've been meaning to get back to. When the stars align, that'll happen. But it's a lovely part of the country. Let's have a look at tips for Topor. Now, if you're interested in this, head over to sweetchainlive.com. Go to tipping and select the Topor Classic, and you can put your tips on who you think is going to take out the win this week. New for this week, you can tip on finishing in the podium. So if you think that someone's going to finish in top 3, and this counts for either tied second or tied third, then you can place those tips as well. Don't forget, when you first sign up for an account, you'll get 1,000 tipping coins to put on where you wish. And then every day you log in, you'll get another little loot box of coins to keep you topped up as well. In MPO, Robert Burridge is the favourite going in, largely thanks to his victory at Egg Monster at 7.8. Slightly outside that is Ezra Robinson at 8s. Aaron Gossage and Kevin Jones coming in at 13s. Jeremy Coling and Chandler Fry at 15s, and Eli Swanson, Aidan Scott at 16s. Levi and Braden Sides are out at 18, and then it's bar for the rest of the field. Arn, where is your money going here? Where have you tipped?
To be honest, Matt, I wasted most of my credits before I went and watched today,
Okay.
and I really wish I hadn't have, because I think there's some smart money in the placings here.
Okay.
Because I don't see Goose. He's my pick to win.
Yeah.
But $4.40 for a place is that's absolutely creaming it.
Yeah.
I think Levi is going to be up there, 570. Braden Sides was there or thereabouts. Didn't get to see Eli throw today, but played really well. But I think the smart money is Aaron Gossage, $4.40.
Yeah. Okay. I'm going to go slightly different direction in MPO. I've gone for Kevin Jones at 4.6 to place. I think that's a strong. Like you, I think the winner could come from any one of about 7 or 8 players. It's going to be real tough to pick it, and if you do, very well done. But the placings, I think Kevin Jones has got a great chance here. Seeing some of the reels from the skins match, I think it was earlier on. Was a particular highlight, and his putting, I think, will be certainly very useful this weekend for him. Can you see anyone?
Kiwi money. Sneaky Kiwi money.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if it's sneaky Kiwi money, but Johnny Wake, the guy does quite a bit of work in and around there. He plays Spa Park quite a lot, and he's got the arm to match the pros. So it just comes down to whether he can keep it in bounds and whatnot. But Jacko, Jacko loves playing with the pros. So
it could be it could go any number of ways, and I think it would be incredible for Johnny or Jacko to take out the crown. I can see someone that we don't expect sneaking onto the podium.
Yeah, but I mean, your favourites there are well-deserved favourites, like Ezra and Robert. Watching them in the Champs vs Chumps, they're ready to go. They can put it close from anywhere. So.
So let's have a look at FPO. In FPO, Sophia Donake is the favourite at 3.3, Emily Weatherman at 3.8, Juliana Korver at 5s, Taylor Chosek at 8, and Jenny Amstead 19 and bar. So the placings here, it's really, I mean, the data analytics team are telling me, look, you've got a choice of 3 between 4. Probably the same 4 that we saw on the lead card at both the last couple of tournaments. The highest rated Kiwi there, Michaela Kerr, currently ranked 3rd in the country. She has played this track a lot, and so will be familiar with it. And if you can put some pressure on early, could find that that she could hang around for a bit, and that would be incredible.
The ladies are playing off the blue tees as well.
Yeah, they are. Yeah.
I don't think, like, I watched Taylor throw today, and she's not putting it much shorter than most of the pro men. Like she can bomb.
Yeah.
So. It's as Levi says, whether she can keep it inbounds, play smart golf. She looks like she's only a young girl, so plenty of disc golf left in her. But to me, I just think Juliana Korver will just off the blue tees. There's so many birdies for these ladies. So
yeah, absolutely.
That's where my money is.
Absolutely.
Even $1.50 placing is, if you've got big coin, put it down, $1.50 the place.
There we are. In MP40, Simon Feasy is the favourite going in. Patrick Brown is slightly fancied slightly outside at 3.5. Mikey Yu at 4.6. And Joe Seebeck at 13.9. Real tight division. That's going to be a fantastic division to watch unfold over the weekend. Any thoughts here? I mean, Simon knows this course very well. Patrick Brown's a very good touring player, and Mikey Yu is the the New Zealand and Aussie national champ at Masters level.
I've got to back Mikey. I've got to back him. Like, he's local Queenstown boy, the king of the gardens. So I've got to go with Mikey. But yeah, I mean, it's Simon. They can all win it.
Looking at MP50, this is a really interesting division as well, and this could come down to. And look at the number of legends that are in this division. 2 Hall of Famers. So Dustin Milbrot is the favourite at 3.6. Jim Oates at 4.9. Jung Ha, Mark Dakiv at 7s. Now, Mark finished in the top 3, I think it was, last year at the Topol Classic. So, I mean, has got history at this course. And second, actually, he finished last year. So I wouldn't be surprised if he puts on another show as well. I've actually got him tipped as... to play 3. I think he's a little bit too good to pass up, honestly.
I mean, you've got an absolute
I'm hoping to double my money right there.
Now, if you want to double your money, Young Ha, place bet. Put 100 down, win 200 back, guaranteed money. It's got to be that.
I will have my fingers crossed for Young, obviously local Wellingtonian, one of the old farts, and so I'll be cheering him on. In MA1, Josh Pratt is the favourite narrowly over Brian Rawlins, Ty Angle K, and Ben Morrison round out the other top four. This is one of those divisions that opens up pretty quick. I mean, there's a lot of players competing, in this one, and so obviously the odds are going to be pushed out. Where's your value here?
Value for me, I watched Ty Ingleke play a practice round with Ezra and Robert Burridge.
Mm-hmm.
So he's obviously had some good coaching there. Obviously played with Ben at league with you on Wednesday night.
Yep.
He was putting like there was no tomorrow. So I reckon the value here, Ben Morrison 470.
Yeah. I'd agree. He shot 7 down at hardcourt on Wednesday, which was 7 down at hardcourt, so a very, very good score. So well done to him, and hoping he can put it together. Another fellow old fart that I'll be cheering on this weekend. In FA1, Caitlin McLeod, she's a junior from Wellington. She'll be taking on Megan Gray, who took out Inglewood, and Ariana Hitch, who's from Wellington. So, I got a bit of a Wellingtonian bias here. Caitlin is ranked 20th in the country, junior. So, but can throw far, right? Let's not kid ourselves here. She's very, very good and has improved in the last year immensely.
Yeah, I mean, $2 is $2 at odds. It seems like she's clear favourite. So I don't know the other two. I only met Ariana today.
Mm-hmm.
Don't know Megan. So I'll keep my positioning in the house because Caitlin is about 3 meters to my left.
Okay. Right.
So I'll keep my position in the house safe and say that she's going to win.
Excellent. A few other people who are there with you in the house is in the MA40 division. Jason Mallion, who was the tournament director of Inglewood. Tim Ware, who is visiting, I believe, from is it Australia? Is he from Australia? Have I got that wrong? He's from Melbourne. He's over visiting. They're ahead of Phil McLeod and Brett Carlisle, who are tied in third place at 8.6. As you can see there, Brett is currently ranked 109th, Phil 110th. That's interesting. There's been a lot of money put on Ephraim Russell this weekend.
Interesting. Yeah, he's on the best card to start off with.
He's with you, is he?
Must say that. So he's with me. Yeah. So he's going to get to see all of what not to do.
Okay.
Look, for me, smart money, Mr. Phil McLeod, $2.90 for the place.
Look,
he did offer tonight. We have a spa right over there. He did offer to sit with me in the spa to help host, but producer Tom said I wasn't allowed to. So
I think
you got
everybody's
Phil there.
Disappointed at that, honestly. But what remains to be seen.
Brett, I've never met Jason. Is that Jason Mallion? Is he the Inglewood?
Correct. Yeah.
TD?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Awesome. Ephraim could do it. Leon.
So I would.
He's a highly rated.
If there were odds on the hottest round to be shot in a division, I would put my money on Leon. Right, because he often does this. Will come into a tournament and shoot like his second round will be something like 990 rated or something, and we'll go, well, where did that come from? And he'll catapult himself up the leaderboard. But I agree with you. I think Phil McLeod's got a great chance. Second here at the Thermal Throwdown in MA40, and also played pretty well last year, I think, as well. So. And has played this course a good plenty. So, and they're playing off the blue tees as well, which means that you don't necessarily need all that distance in order to compete. But we'll see.
It's absolute value down the bottom, though, Matt. Just saying, absolute value there. I don't think he'll win.
14.
Don't think he'll win, but he'll definitely push that $14.50 placing.
Yeah, I think that's perhaps $14.50 could well be the way to go.
Yeah,
Let's take a quick look at MA40. Amy Whitmore goes into this favourite over Kath Headley. This will be an interesting battle between the two of them, and I do see it being a battle between these two. Kath obviously very forehand dominant. If she can get that dialed in the woods and play some clean golf and get out into the open fairly cleanly, then I think that she's got a good chance. Amy's been playing very well recently as well, though, and her rating's just been climbing up and up. So it's going to be tough.
He's one of the highest rated FA40 players in the world,
yes,
right?
That's correct. Yeah.
So yeah, it's a tough one, but Mother House over here, I've got to back her because otherwise I'll be sleeping on the lawn, I think. So,
excellent. Over to MA50. Andy Brewster is the favourite here up against Sean Ashford and Dan Smith. They're probably going to be the ones contending for the win. Could come down to there's a fair few players in this division that could take out the win, though. I think, although my money would be Dan Smith can play sneaky good, right? So, and I'm actually glad he's moved to MA50. So that I don't have to play against him in MA40 too often. He can sneaky put in a couple of good rounds, and you're like, wow, okay, that's interesting. And so to see him there at I think 1.9 might be a little bit too short for me, but we'll see.
I'm not making a pick in here.
It's so tricky.
Yeah.
In MA2, another big division. Quinn Cheeseman is the favourite at 16.9. Matt Stout at 17.9. Any value here? I've got a pick that I think might be worth having a look at.
Got value for you. Ashley Clements. Again, I'm going to go on the placing.
Mm-hmm.
But Ash Clements is a very good player.
Yeah.
1 sub-0. Probably, I don't know. I won't say he shouldn't be playing MA2, but probably could play MA1 in certain tournaments. But yeah, Ashley Clements.
Okay. I'm looking at Louis Hickson at 12.5. I think he's got the capability to pull out if he can get two decent rounds. All right, 2 decent rounds out and a one not half bad round, then I think that he's got a fair chance of making the podium. So anyway, that is that sets you up for the Topol Classic this weekend. Tipping closes at around about between 7 and 7:30 tomorrow morning. So make sure that you get your tips in as early as you can. We'll and then head back to the site to check out what everybody put their money on when the event is in play. It will show you all the stats of who's doing what. Right, we're gonna. I just want to have a quick word, actually, Arne, about the longest day of disc golf, which is being played this Saturday. So this is I would like to say it's been inspired by the Centurion that we run here in Wellington.
It hasn't been inspired. Ewan has literally purposefully made it 2 holes longer, just so we can beat
one
it.
hole longer. 1 hole longer. Centurion was always 101 holes.
Okay, sorry. My 1 hole longer. That's why it's only 17 holes per round.
Yeah, and he's done it 2 days before Centurion this year as well. So so a couple of things here. Centurion in Wellington on what is Wellington Anniversary Day, which is this Monday, public holiday, is being played and is being you play. I think it's 2.5 times round Harcourt Park, twice round Wainui, twice round Petone, and twice round Berhampore, right, for a total of 101. So if you're able to play in that and you want to give it a shot, it's absolutely great fun. You play 101 holes of disc golf. The event is on UDisc. It's all scored on there. Great big scorecard, and it's a whole lot of fun. And so
I think there's an anti-inflammatory in the market that could have me playing that tournament on that on Monday after 3 days of disc golf. So
you'll have to see. We'll have to see. Then on Saturday of this weekend, is the longest day of disc golf being played, as Arne said, round Jelly Park. Now it's a slightly modified. They've taken out one of the holes, which I think it does 2 things. One, it allows them to make a even 102 holes in a day from 7 rounds, but also it might help some of the flow towards the back end of the course. So the idea here is that all competitors play 7 rounds of 17 holes in a day for 102 holes, and around Jelly Park, which many people will know is quite a little bit of a pitch and putt. But looking at the odds here, Sam Cole is the favourite going in MPO over Jason Ormandy. In MA1, Dwan Fisher, that's where my money's going. In MA1 is the favourite here. In MA40, I will also have to shout out producer Tom, who's playing in MPO. I wish you the very best of luck, Tom. One, to even just make it round 7 rounds in a day is quite an achievement. So very best of luck.
There's no rain, Tom. Hope there's no rain.
In the rain, it's miserable. Playing that much disc golf in the rain is horrid. MA40, Jamie Helms is the favourite here by some distance over Malcolm Macbeth and Scott Brooker. Sam Page, Stephen Martin at 10s. Gregor Brosnahan is the quite favourite, 1.5 odds on him in MA50. I don't see anyone else taking out that division over 7 rounds. You'd expect him to.
I think Gregor will win the whole thing.
Oh, you think? Okay, all right. Well, that'll be interesting. He's one of the higher rated players in the tournament. So, yeah, Dwan Fisher has that crown. But then Sam Cole shot particularly well this week with the hot score around Jelly Park. So
young, these young people, they don't, get the inflammation like we do.
Indeed.
But Gregor plays that course with 1 disc in like 25 minutes and can shoot 10 down. So,
okay. So his odds of 1 to place isn't really doing you any favors. And then MA2 is basically it's who's going to win. It's a bit of a lottery draw here. It's so close between most of the players in MA2.
Or usually wins Centurion, Matt.
Sorry.
What score usually wins the Centurion?
So Centurion's slightly different because it's done on the number of birdies, right? So you don't look at the score overall. You look at the total number of birdies that you make because it encourages people to play quickly. And that was the idea, right? We didn't want people to be hanging around going, oh, I'm going to try and rescue a double bogey here because I'm in a tree. It's like the idea is to get on with it, right? And so, so that normally at Centurion, but bearing in mind that the Wellington courses are harder to birdie than Jelly Park by some distance. Normally around Wellington's courses, around the 30 to 40 birdies wins or gets you thereabouts. I think Andy or Johnny might have shot much better than that last year, but yeah, if you're shooting somewhere in the region of sort of 30 under par, then that's all right. I actually expect this Jelly Park to be closer to sort of 50 to 60.
I agree.
So we'll see. It'll be a good one to follow on Saturday if in between cards of the Topol Classic. Right, I think that's looking ahead at the 2 events that are going on this weekend. As I said, sweetchainlive.com. Head over to the tipping section and put your coins where you think who you think is going to take out the win for this weekend. Right, let's play a bit of Disc Duel, shall we, Arn? We got this in like super quick, not last week, but the week before. So I think 2 is our best on this. For anybody watching who doesn't know what we do, we've got to guess a disc, and then we get clues as to what the manufacturer, speed, glide, turn, and fade is. And so we've got to try and guess it. And me and Morgan normally make a pig's ear of it and get it on the 6th go. So Arn, what was the first disc you threw today?
A Shrike. And I lost it.
A Shrike and you lost it. Okay, so let's go with Shrike and see where we get. See what we get. A Shrike. Innova Shrike.
Innova Shrike. Tie-dye, right Mando tree if anyone's at Topor. And because I'm me, I didn't name it. Oh.
Okay, so it's not Innova. It's quite a lot slower than a 13 speed. It's quite a lot less glide. It's got more fade. And it's got less. So I always get this wrong. A down arrow on turn means a higher number numerically on turn, I think. So we're looking for something. Let's go overstable mid. Let's go with an anchor. That's my overstable mid. Oh, look at this. Look at this. Right, so we know that A, it's latitude. It's a speed that's lower than 5, but not much lower. It's got a glide of 4, a turn of 0, and a 3. I think I know what this is.
Yep, shoot. Because I don't know full speed.
I think it might. I want to say Savior. If it's in it's a fairly new disc, so I'm hoping it's there. There it is. Yeah. Hooray! Yeah. There we go. Happy with that. I'd throw both of those discs. So yeah, probably should have known those ones. So good stuff. And has anyone played Disc Golf Valley this week? Producer Tom?
Played like 3 holes, but I couldn't.
Okay, let's have a look at Disc Golf Valley. Blakey comes in with a 9 under par. Very well done. Perfect round. What was that? Kelvin with a 7 down. Bailey with a 6. Brett with a 5. I shot +1. And I was under par until the last hole. And I was like, this will be the first time I've ever shot under par on Disc Golf Valley. And no, it wasn't to be. I missed both. I missed the first triple Mando on that last hole. If you know, you know. Anyone else down there? Young with a +5. New to the sport, I suspect. So yeah, very good. Right, let's have a quick look at power rankings if we can, because there have been a few changes since the Egg Monster last weekend. Starting off in the ladies division, Michaela Kerr drops 1 spot to 3rd, and Amy Whitmore drops 2 spots to 6th. Hannah Edmonds climbs 4 spots to 7th. LK Elise Robham climbs 36 spaces to 12th. So well done to all of them. And in the male division, Francis Orange dropped 2 spots to 4th. Nate Perkins is a new entry. Remembering that you need 5 events in the last 12 months in order to qualify, which he has played, given that he played all 4 of the series last year and also obviously last weekend. So that's the 12 months. He may fall off the rankings in the coming weeks. Well, we shall have to see. Elsewhere, Conor McKinstry up 8 spots to 18th. And other big movers, Brian Levine up 36 to 44. Anthony Rogers up 17 to 37. And Finn Rumors up 13 to 64. So well done to everybody who had any big moves in the power rankings. Arne, I think that more or less does it for us for today. We've got 2 big events coming up this weekend in different ways. And so yeah. So very best of luck to you tomorrow. What are you most looking forward to?
Look, I am looking forward to hopefully seeing an event that matched today. Mm-hmm. So today, as far as the player experience stuff that went on today, just, I don't know, it's the vibe. And the show that they put on, it was spectacular. And so I'm really looking forward to seeing that carry over into the tournament. And yeah, I'm looking forward to shooting 900 plus rated tomorrow.
I'm very much looking forward to you shooting 900 plus rated tomorrow, because that will mean that when we catch up next week, then you'll be a happy chappy, and you can tell us all about it. Quick note to say thank you so much to all of our Patreons who do a fantastic job in supporting the show. It makes a real difference to the show and to us that you're throwing your support. If you want to get involved, it's patreon.com/sweetgainlive. There are juicy on a few more member benefits there for Patreon. So head on over if you want to be involved in that. Thank you so much to all those who have done. And finally, Arn, very best of luck to
Cheers.
you tomorrow. Very best of everybody playing at the longest day down in Christchurch, everybody playing in the Topol Classic, and wherever you're playing disc golf. Take it easy. Play well, get some birdies, and we'll see you next week. Cheers.